Hello students, so today we are going to cover these topics: turgidity and flaccidity. So every living plant cell directly or indirectly is in contact with fluid. The root hairs in particular are surrounded by soil water. So all such cells are subjected to osmosis. That means in all cells osmosis is going to happen. And water continues to enter as long as the cell sap is more concentrated than the surrounding fluid. So here we have one point. When a cell reaches a state where it cannot accommodate any more water, that means no more water can enter into it. It is fully distended. It is known as turgid, or condition is known as turgidity. When a cell is turgid, its wall is stretched under pressure from inside. That means internal cytoplasm is applying pressure on the wall, and in turn the wall is also presses the cell content toward the center of the cell. So here we got two definitions. Pressure of the cell content on the cell wall, it is called turgor pressure, and pressure exerted by the cell wall on cell content is called wall pressure. So when wall pressure and turgor pressure both are equal, there will be no change in the cell shape and structure. But if turgor pressure increases than the wall pressure, then our cell is going to burst. Right? So let's read next. If at any time the cell wall is unable to bear the turgor pressure, it ruptures and cell content bursts out. And this is exactly what happens when fruits and vegetables sometime burst. Right? So inside those fruits and vegetables, actually turgor pressure increases, so they burst. When turgid, the cell is in somewhat balanced state. No more water is entering or leaving it. So its turgor pressure counterbalance the wall pressure, means it is equal. Counterbalance means equal and opposite. So therefore there is no further absorption of water by those cells, even though concentration of solute inside the cell may be greater than the outside. So why there is no movement of water? Because of the balance between turgor and wall pressure. Next phenomena we are having plasmolysis and flaccidity. So when a living cell, such as cell of leaf of an aquatic plant, is placed in fresh water, so it remains in a fully distended condition. Its plasma membrane remain in close contact with the cell wall and presses against it. So in 4.9a you can observe this. Cells are in normal turgid condition. So just like a rubber bladder of a football pushing against the leather casing. So if this plant cell is now kept in 5% salt solution for a few minutes, it will lose its distended appearance. The cytoplasm will shrink and plasma membrane will withdraw from the cell wall. So this is the condition now. Here cell membrane has withdrawn from the cell wall, so it becomes just shrunken substance. Like in the center it is in shrunken stage. So this shrinkage from the cell wall is called plasmolysis, and the cell now is in the state of flaccid or flaccidity. So flaccidity is the reverse of turgidity. However, if a plasmolyzed cell is returned to water before it is dead, its cytoplasm again swell up, pressing tight against the cell wall. So recovery or the reversal of plasmolysis is called deplasmolysis. Right? Here you can see the cells will start doing plasmolysis. You can see the internal material of cell is getting shrunken. Right? Because a hypotonic solution was introduced. Due to this, cell is shrinking. After this, we are going to introduce hypotonic solution to the cell. It will regain its original state. So this is deplasmolysis. Next we have some terms. Turgidity, state of a cell in which cell wall is rigid and stretched by an increase in the volume of vacuole due to absorption of water. The cell is then said to be turgid cell. Plasmolysis is a contraction of cytoplasm from the cell wall caused due to withdrawal of water when placed in hypertonic solution. Flaccidity is the condition in which cell content is shrunken and cell is no more tight, and cell is then said to be flaccid. Then we have uses of turgidity in plants. First, turgidity provides rigidity to soft tissue such as leaves. So when there is not enough water in a leaf, it wilt. Wilt means murjha jana. That is, its petiole and lamina become loose and leaf droop down. झुक जाएगा leaf फिर नीचे की तरफ. So wilting of the leaf is usually noticed when a plant is exposed to hot afternoon sun, and when the amount of water lost during transpiration is more than the water absorbed by the roots. So from this give reason question is formed. Why during hot afternoon day plant is going to wilt or leaves are going to wilt? So reason is this, because the amount of water lost during transpiration is more than the water absorbed through the root. So this is the reason leaves wilt. Second, we have in the evening when transpiration is reduced, the quantity of water absorbed exceeds, and the loss of water through transpiration, the turgidity of leaf cell is restored and leaves again stand out. So what happened in the evening? Transpiration reduces and water absorption rate by the root it increases. So due to this, leaves will restore its turgidity. Water will again enter into the leaf cells and leaves again stand out. Okay, here few examples are given. From this again we can form give reason question. Salting of meat or addition of salt to the pickle is a method of killing bacteria by plasmolysis. So what happens here? Water is drawn out of the bacterial cell and they die. By this, meat or pickle, it will be preserved. Next we have weeds can be killed in a playground by sprinkling excessive salt around their base. So that salt is going to kill the weed. It will draw water. It will draw out water, right? Even excessive application. This is another question. Excessive use of fertilizers. This also lead to the damage of roots. So fertilizer is basically salts. So when they enter into the soil, they will form hypertonic solution and they are going to damage the roots of the plant. So keep in mind excessive usage of fertilizer. This can also lead to the death of the plants. All right. Next is turgor pressure helps to push through the hard ground. So in mushroom or in a seedling, so you can see here in a seedling, this radical part has to move into the soil. Due to turgor pressure here in these cells, it can easily penetrate into the soil. So sometimes the roots of certain trees have been seen to crack the wall or a concrete floor. Why it happens? Due to turgor pressure inside the roots. Third, we have turgor in root cell build up root pressure, and due to turgor pressure inside root cell, what is created? Root pressure. So if you cut a well watered potted plant a few centimeters above the soil, immediately fix a glass tube to it by means of rubber connection. Water will start coming out of the cut end of the stem and rise up in the glass tubing. So this rising water can raise the mercury filled in the connected manometer. So you can see here, so this experiment we are discussing. Even I have another experiment to demonstrate the same phenomena. From here, so we are getting the definition root pressure. It is a pressure developed in the roots due to continued inward movement of water through cell to cell osmosis, which help in the ascent of cell sap upward through the stem, right? Along with this, one more phenomena is discussed, which is known as bleeding. So let's see what it is. Due to root pressure, water can rise in the tube up to a certain height only. But in the case of some injured part of the plant, for example, we broke a stem or a branch of the plant, and you can see a liquid comes out of that injured portion or broken portion. It is also because of root pressure, and that phenomena is now known as bleeding. So loss of water through a cut stem, it is called bleeding, right? So you have to keep this definition in your mind. Here we have taken a plant, right? Now we are going to cut the pot of the plant into half so that soil and some of the roots can be visible. We are going to cut the stem of the plant from upside, and then we will take some water in this container. The cut portion of the stem will be joined by a glass tube, right? Now we are going to add some color in this water. So look here, we have added the color. That means roots are going to absorb this colored water. And look at this glass tube attached here. Due to the root pressure, water start moving upward. As I told you in bleeding, what happened from the cut stem, water will come outside because of root pressure. So this can be seen here inside the glass tube very clearly. Next we have turgor in the opening and closing of stomata. So you have already read in class 9th about stomata. Stomata help in transpiration, and these are covered by guard cells. So how turgidity help in opening and closing of stomata? Let's read it. The opening and closing depend upon turgidity of guard cell. If guard cells are turgid, stomata is open. If guard cells are flaccid, stomata is closed. Guard cell contain chloroplast. As a result of synthesis of glucose during photosynthesis, some chemical changes occur, and osmotic pressure of the guard cell, it increases. So they absorb more water. Because osmotic pressure increases, they will absorb more water, and this make the cell turgid. And when cells are turgid, it will lead to the opening of stomata. But at night no photosynthesis is there, so guard cells, they turn flaccid, and when they become flaccid, this leads to closing of stomata. Last use of turgor pressure is turgor movement. So here we have taken the example of touch me not plant. This is very sensitive to touch. When you touch this plant just droop down, right? So this is also known as Lajvanti plant in Hindi. So rapid drooping of leaves of Mimosa pudica. Mimosa pudica is the scientific name of touch me not. So it is an outstanding example of turgor movement. One of the leaf is touched even lightly, the leaflet folds up within 2-3 seconds, and then entire leaf droops. So the leaf is touched somewhat strongly, the wave of folding and drooping spread throughout the stimulated leaf to all neighboring leaves. But after some time, the leaves recover and again stand erect. So in this plant, what happens? The stimulus of touch leads to the loss of turgor. Now you can say the stimulus of touch loses the turgidity, right? And due to this, the plants, they droop down. Somewhat similar turgor movement can be found in insectivorous plants whose leaves close up to entrap a living prey. So the insectivorous plant, they eat insect. Everybody has listened this? Do you know this? So what they do, when any insect touch that plant, they become sensitive and immediately they just close up. By this, the prey, that means that insect is trapped inside. The bending movement of certain flower toward the sun, like example sunflower, and the sleeping movement of some leaves of certain plant at night. So all these movements are due to turgor movement. And how this turgor movement comes into existence? Due to turgor pressure, turgidity. Alright? Guttation is today's last topic. So in certain plant like tomato, grass, banana and fern, the root pressure is high enough to force the water all the way through the stem and comes out through the ends of the leaf vein. So this water appear as tiny drop along the margins or the tips of the leaves, especially in the early morning. So this excessive loss of water in the form of drops from the margin of the leaf is known as guttation, and margin bear a structure known as hydathode. Right? So this is a structure through which guttation occurs. So I have another experiment which will show the process of guttation. Look at this video. Here you are going to observe water drops on the margins of the leaves. So this shows that guttation happened here. So look, it is very clear from the video that leaf margins, it bear water droplets. So this is also due to root pressure. Guttation occurs during early morning and early evening, usually in the early mornings, right? Just because plant needs to lose water, So this happens through guttation, because at this time transpiration does not occur. It occurs during daytime when stomatas are open. So this was today's lecture. With this, we have covered almost all the topics of our chapter. Now you are left with experiments only. Thank you, students.